Our boosters, Jim Baker, as y'all know, he got upset in on the ballot box, but he's actually in the hospital. He had a little rotor-rooter surgery, and something's gone a little astray, so they're got him in the hospital doing some more tests on him and stuff like that, trying to figure out what happened with it and stuff. So I'll let Ron, he'll give you more information.
He's out of the hospital right now, but they're going to send him to Little Rock Wednesday.
There you go. Going to send him to Little Rock Wednesday, so keep him in your thoughts and prayers if you would. That would be nice and stuff. So this week, got a lot of activities going on this week. We have the Governor's I-40 Showdown tonight in the Fair Center at 7 with men's basketball. We're leading the I-40 Showdown 10-2 after the 5 fall sports, so no pressure basketball. Because the women play them in a couple of weeks. Tuesday night, the Sugar Bears host Lindenwood at 7 p.m. in the Fair Center for their first home game of the season. Also will be their first non-Power 5 opponent. I'm sure they're looking forward to that. On Thursday, volleyball opens ASUN tournament play in Nashville as the number 5 seed against host Lipscomb University. And if they win that match, they would play Liberty at 7 o'clock Friday in the semifinals. On Friday, men's basketball will be in Ireland Friday and Saturday. They play Niagara at 11 a.m. Central on Friday, and they play Ryder at 6 a.m. Central on Saturday. And if I'm not mistaken, the Ryder game is on ESPNU at 6 a.m. So if you're an early bird on Saturday and you have ESPNU, feel free to wake up early and watch that game. Let me know how it goes. Saturday is senior day for football at 4 o'clock against Jacksonville State on the Stripes. It's also our opportunity to clinch the ASUN football championship outright. And, we want to make sure we do that. Women's basketball also plays at Louisiana Monroe at noon on Saturday. So we're going to start with volleyball. The Sugar Bears swept Austin Peay 3-0 on Friday, and then lost a heartbreaking 5-setter, 16-14 in the 5th, to Kennesaw State yesterday in Kennesaw, Georgia. They're 11-5 overall in the conference. They play Lipscomb, who they lost to at Lipscomb 3-1 during the regular season back October 21st, but they've gone 5-2 since then. And let's hear from Coach John Newberry now.
All right, been wearing a beanie all week. It's been cold, even on the indoors it's been cold, which we appreciate, because in that Prince Center it's been as hot as the wet soccer fields that we've had all season long. So it's a solid week for us, senior day. Got to really just sing the praises of our 3 seniors that we have here, Anna Myers, Kendall Haywood, and Alexis Stumbo. We started all 3 of them for our first set for our last game, and really proud of the way that we performed. Thought it was a dominating performance, most complete game. Didn't call a timeout the whole entire game, so that's it's always a good thing for us when we don't have to call a timeout. Probably should have at one point, but just let them battle it out like they've been doing all season. Kennesaw State match. So we got done with our match in the Prince Center at 8:30 p.m. And then about 10 hours later, we were on the bus on the way to drive all the way down to Kennesaw State. So just a couple hour drive down to Atlanta. So that was it was fun. Quick practice and then a quick turnaround for the next day. So it was a little bit of a grueling trip for us. A little bit tired, sitting and laying on a bus for several hours. Basically, a whole entire day is tough. But I thought we performed okay. Wasn't our best. I just didn't think that mentally we were just completely checked in all the way. But we did have some good performances. I thought our middle blockers, Macy Blackburn and also Kendall Haywood, our fifth-year senior, they had a stellar performance. We knew that they should have, but they definitely did. I thought they did everything that they were supposed to do, and then a little bit more. So I'm very, very happy for that. Last year we finished 10th in conference, and for us to be moving up this year and finishing 5th out of 14 teams in our conference in the ASUN is incredible. I want to put things in perspective. We are one of 2 conferences that are not Power 5 schools that have 5 teams in the top 100 RPI. And for us to finish 5th with that type of elite program as a mid-major school is extremely impressive for these girls, being that we are not the biggest, we are not the most athletic. That just tells you what kind of character and grit and heart that this team has. Extremely proud of them, extremely proud of the staff and how we've managed the season, and to be on top of the ASUN like this consistently, managing injuries and everything else, classes. I'm very thankful for this season. It's been, our motto at the beginning was refresh. We want to be a refreshing and add value to our program and refresh each other, and that's exactly what the season's been. So we're not done. We've got Lipscomb on Thursday. We're supposed to find out exactly what time that game is here in a few minutes, but we're excited to take it on the road to Lipscomb, hopefully get in the semifinals and hopefully have a possible revenge match, assuming that Liberty would win their match. So anyways, can't say enough about this team and this program. So thankful for that. Also, really enjoyed our home game with our men's soccer team. If you guys were out there, it was rowdy as all get out. We were heckling. We asked a lot of questions about what to do. We tore into their keeper, and it was fun. So we talked about it. We had a team meeting about how to heckle and just get after somebody the right way, because we want to do what some other teams have done to us. We want to keep it classy, but also try and make somebody shed a tear. So when we got to see all the penalty kicks afterwards, that it was just an incredible atmosphere. It was fun out there. So congrats to our guys. It was a fun season to watch, and glad we could be there for that last one here at the home. So anyways, good luck to football this weekend. Congrats on the championship as well, and look forward to watching you guys the rest of the season. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Coach Newberry. All right, men's soccer played in the ASUN championship match on Saturday over in Nashville against Lipscomb University. Lipscomb University was just seeded number 9 overall in the NCAA championship that starts this weekend. And so I'm going to let Coach Frank come up and give us a recap of their season.
Well, thank you, Coach Beard. So, John, we definitely appreciate the volleyball team coming out, and they did a great job. We should have taken them with us to Lipscomb. And if you need any advice about how to play over at Lipscomb, don't ask me. But before we get to that, I wanted to say, it was special having that semifinal match at home. We had a lot of other athletes there, and what a great crowd. And, the PKs were very exciting, and our staff had done a good job of getting ready for them. And, the athletes wonder why for 3 weeks you're practicing penalties. And then, while I'm on penalties, so we did have quite an event on Wednesday out at the soccer practice field. It might have been bigger than us playing in the championship game. We had 2 teams of stalwart athletes show up out at the soccer practice field. One team captained by Dr. Davis, another team captained by Dr. Teague. And it was a showdown for the ages. Because Dr. Teague earlier had said, and we do have it on videotape, how easy it is to take PKs. Well, I think while he was over there, Dr. Teague must have practiced 10, and he took 1 during the competition. That would be 0 for 11. Now, I say these things while I'm wearing a vest, which, you know, Dr. Teague will at least appreciate that part. But, you know, I can say it because, you know, he's in Ireland now. But it was great, though, to have so many of the staff and stuff come over and take PKs. And, you know, one of the staff said, well, I didn't know there would be anyone here watching, because we had our teams over there lined up. One side of the team was cheering for one team, and then the other side was for the other. And it was really cool, but what good sports everyone was, and it was fun to do. But back to the men's soccer team, you know, that was a special moment to get back to the championship match. Was very exciting for us. And, you know, Nelson Mandela, I think, said that you don't lose, you either win or you learn. And Kobe Bryant said, you know, the only time you lose is if you quit. Well, we didn't quit, but we did lose. And, you know, from that we can learn, because you have to be accountable. And, you know, I need to be the most accountable to get the guys ready for next year. But we've already started. At 4 a.m. this morning, I dropped Kyle off at the airport, our assistant coach, so he could go down to the junior college tournament. So we're going to try and be bigger and better next year. Good luck to the women's basketball team. Coach, if you need any advice on how to drink Guinness, I'm available, Coach Boone. If you can get extra cold, that's the one I like, and you can get it over there, extra cold Guinness. So, John, good luck at Lipscomb, and that's all I'll say. Coach Brown, great stuff this year. Congrats on the rings and the trophy, and let's get it where it's just the Purple Bears. And I want to thank everyone for listening to me ramble on this year. And then, you know, we look forward to listening to everyone else and supporting the others, because that was the best thing about the entire season, is the way we had the support from the other Purple Bear teams. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. I'll make sure Dr. Teague watches that when he gets back. He may want to have a meeting. All right, tonight men's basketball plays Little Rock at 7 o'clock. On Friday, we played Hendricks in our military appreciation game, and we won 107-56. Both teams are 1-1 on the season. And I don't know if y'all were at the game Friday, but the military swearing-in ceremony at halftime and those things were that was awesome. I've never been to one of those, and that was pretty amazing stuff. So that those young people are dedicating their life to help protect our freedoms, and we were very much appreciative and glad we could be a small part of that. So, Coach Boone, come share some knowledge on us.
Still don't know what to do with this. That's a little better. Thank you, Darryl. Yeah, we're 1-1. We played our first game at Wichita State. Very good program. Actually felt that we played pretty good, although the score didn't indicate that. We were decently solid defensively, and offensively we were really good. We just didn't make shots when we were wide open. Guys that could really shoot the ball just couldn't find it. I don't know if it was nerves or if for that part of the season the game was just a little too big for us, but hopefully we can learn from not winning that game, Coach, and be prepared for later on down the season when we are playing games, again, that matter, games that are big, that the moments aren't too big for us. So that's what we're taking from that game, and we're pushing that on to our guys. Friday was incredible, as Daryl said. That was really something. And the game was one part of it, but the ceremony at halftime was amazing. And Coach Price, my associate head coach, when I hired him, that's the first thing he talked about trying to get started with us, is some type of military appreciation game for Veterans Day. And we targeted Hendricks and saying we could play them and have something. And he knew about the Air Force Base being near us. He contacted those people. He worked with Jerry Gillum out of our administrative offices, and they worked tirelessly to get that going. And it was amazing. And I can remember standing there at halftime, feeling very, very, I don't want to say proud because they weren't my people, but I felt proud of those young people and very emotional. And to me, the game really didn't count at that point. It was something to behold. And I don't know how many of you all were there to witness that, but it really was something amazing. And hopefully we can continue that tradition with Hendricks on Veterans Day. That's our intention. We're going to continue to do that very thing every year as long as we can. So if you missed it this time, if you were not able to see it, it was something amazing to witness, and I hopefully you'll be able to see it when we do it again next year. We have a game tonight against Little Rock. Little Rock's very talented. They just played okay. They didn't play well their first game that they played against Southern Illinois, they've got a great team. They struggled in their home game, but they are very talented, and they see tonight as a great opportunity, which we're going to have to come out and play extremely well. Our guys, I think, are ready. I think our guys are focused. They practiced well. We had a good shoot around this morning, and our guys are anxious and not looking forward to the trip, which our guys have showed a great deal of maturity, despite that. It seems like every year we're really young. Talking to Thad, the Hendricks coach, before our game, he talked about graduating a couple of really good players from last year, and I remember thinking in my head, oh, I feel bad for you, but then I thought, well, wait, welcome to my world. We have one senior this year and a couple juniors, and then a ton of sophomores and freshmen. But they have grown quite a bit. The sophomores that we have that were freshmen last year and had to contribute quite a bit to what we were doing with this program. They've grown quite a bit over this past year, and they are continuing to grow. They're all continuing to grow together as a team. They're showing quite a bit of maturity in knowing what is ahead of us, because in the morning we're going to be leaving for Ireland. And they're excited about that. We're excited about that, but they're focused on the task at hand, and that is tonight. And hopefully we'll have a great crowd, and the guys will be feeling good, and we'll put together a great game for you guys to come and see. I've said before, the Ferris Center last season was, for us, the best environment in our conference. And the coaches in our conference all said that. All the ones that came here, they all said that. It was the best environment, hands down, in the conference, and that's because of you guys and being as supportive and loud and cheering and encouraging for the team on the floor. And hopefully we can continue in that, and our guys certainly appreciate that and give their best to show that appreciation. A couple things I want to say about Ireland. Really looking forward to our guys growing and using this also as something to prepare for later on. We have games a couple days in a row, not a lot of rest time in between, not a lot of prep time in between, so it'll simulate possibly conference tournament play, postseason play if we make it to that. And also coming back from that, recovering from all the travel and the time change going there, the time change coming back. another chance for our guys to grow and find some maturity in that, those two things. And then one more thing I'm really looking forward to with this trip. I looked on Google Maps, and where our hotel is, there's a Quick Trip right down the road. And I'm very anxious to find out what all fountain drinks they offer at this Quick Trip in Dublin, Ireland. And I wonder if the Coke Zero tastes different. I don't drink, Frank, but I do drink a lot of Coke Zero. And I just wonder, you hear about Coke tasting different in Mexico. I wonder if Coke Zero might taste different in Dublin. I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. Yes, sir.
I've been there a number of times, and it does taste just like it does here. At that Quick Trip, you're also going to find a lot of bakery goods, more than you normally in this country.
Okay. So I need to take my appetite.
You'll like Dutch Irish is they cook very well. You're going to get some good food.
Good food. Okay. Well, thank you for that information. All right, well, that's all I have. Do you guys have any questions about anything? Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
have a question, just have an observation. Besides the game being so much fun Friday night and the induction ceremony at halftime, the fact that both teams and staffs stayed out there on the end and high-fived and handshake and fist bump every one of those inductees, I thought was awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to congratulate you on one thing from the game with Hendricks. That was the best defense that I've seen UCA play in a long time, and especially your full court press was very impressive. The way that you held him on the back court. But I think the secret of this team is going to be defense. Not that you're that great in offense, but they were getting after it. Everybody that you put in there was playing defense.
I appreciate that. That was a focus we had. Like I said, I thought when we played Wichita State, we were decent defensively, but we saw some things that we need to improve on, and we worked on that. And it looked a little bit better against Hendricks. Our pressure was a lot better against Hendricks, I will say. And hopefully we can continue that here against Little Rock and as we go over to Ireland. Thank you so much. We thought it was better also. Thank you.
Good.
All right, well, thank you all so much.
Women's basketball plays at home tomorrow against Lindenwood at 7. They have 3 of their next 5 at home, so Coach Rushing was having to deal with some personal stuff today, but we've got assistant coach Tiffany Phillips to give us a little update on the Sugar Bears.
Natalie says, tell you my real title. I am the associate head coach, so thank you. Thank you. Yes, Coach Rushing is sorry that she could not be here today. And I'm gonna go off of the Nelson Mandela quote. We did a lot of learning in the last 2 games because we did not do a lot of winning. It's always hard to start off with those Power Fives. And you want to make sure that you keep the confidence of your players, just letting them know, like, hey, these are games that are going to make us better. They exposed some things for us, and they definitely did that. They exposed a lot of things for us. But we're not discouraged at all. We're actually very encouraged, very excited to play someone that is not a Power 5. Lindenwood is new to Division I this year. They are a very talented team who is going to run a lot of motion offense, so we'll see exactly where our defense is when we go up against them. So I'm very excited, first of all, to be at home, and second of all, to play a non-Power 5 opponent. We have a lot of new faces. We have 4 returners and 8 new players. So we are trying to figure some things out as well right now. Who's going to step up, who's going to do those things for us that need to be done, who's going to do the scoring, who's going to do the rebounding. And I think we had some people do that in moments, and we were able to see some things that we can build on, and that's been our focus the last couple of days, is to build on those positives that we took away from Kansas State and from Arkansas. So that's kind of where we are with everything. We did sign 4 in the early signing period this past week that we're really, really excited about. All of them, except for one, are over 6 foot. So that's good because right now we are very small. When you drive in there, you get a great shot, and then you see a 6'7" lady coming at you. That's a little bit. I thought Jesus was coming. A 6'7" lady coming at you. That's difficult to deal with. So it'll be nice to drive in there against people our size this coming week. So we're excited about that and excited about our recruiting class. I will also say this. Ryan is our sports information director. He travels with us, and he was on one of the penalty kicking teams. I did let him know, though, if he wouldn't have made his kick, he was not going to get fed on that trip. So very, very lucky he made his kick. So anyway, we're excited to be home. Hopefully you guys can all come out and support tomorrow night at 7 against Lindenwood. And I also want to mention, because, this is my second stop at UCA. I was here with Matt Daniel / Chicola Seals / Ron Marvel. So this is my second stop at UCA. But I want to mention on December 3rd, when we play UALR here, we are going to honor Ron Marvel that day. So hopefully you guys can all come out and be there for that, because I know he is a legend here. Very, very important man to me as well. So if you guys can be there for that, I think that'd be great. So thank you.
All right. The football Bears took care of SFA on Saturday, winning 34-7. Besides winning, I think probably Coach Brown, I know he enjoys winning, but probably not letting the quarterback at SFA get over 10,000 yards passing, since he only needed like 110 yards going into the game, was a big deal, because Coach Brown threw for 10,000 yards. He broke the 10,000 yard barrier at SFA when he was a quarterback here at UCA. So that was a pretty big deal. And also they had a receiver that was only like 60 yards away from going over 1,000 yards receiving, and he got nowhere close to that. So those were two of the many bright spots on defense. Many bright spots on defense for sure. And the offense just kind of rolled through them a little bit. So, but anyway, Jacksonville State, Saturday, 4 o'clock, senior day. We have 8 seniors, if I counted right. Am I right, or 6? 6 seniors. I didn't count right. That's not unusual. So we want to take care of business on Saturday against Jacksonville State and send them Conference USA with the L. So, Coach Brown, you're up.
Yeah, we have, just to reiterate that, we have 6 seniors walking, and then I have 2 underclassmen that are going to walk as well, that are actually coming back but wanted to walk with their class. So, and then we're also going to honor the 9th honoree on Senior Day will be the Garrett Thomas family, who was passed away in the spring. His parents are coming up, I should say, from Dallas to walk with our group and be honored. Because tough situation, and obviously continuing to honor Garrett through our play and his family obviously is a big deal. So, but yeah, that puts a lot of things into perspective. And I've said it for a couple weeks. We went 2 weeks ago to Eastern Kentucky, and they had, I think, 24, 25 seniors walk on Senior Day. Stephen F. Austin had 27 seniors walk on Saturday. We've got 6, and so, and we're in a world with the transfer portal, and we're in a world with college athletics where, there's going to be some years like that where you may not have as many. And, we had a fairly large class, the last 2 classes of groups we had here. So, to put it in perspective, there's a lot to be excited about for the years to come. When you only have 6 guys leaving with their eligibility from at least a co-conference championship team, that's pretty impressive. So a lot of kudos to those guys and those 6 seniors. We'll talk more about them on Saturday. But going back to the game at Stephen F. Austin, obviously a big game for us. I thought it was a big game for our program. It's funny because we're in a weird world in football. yeah, it was a non-conference game, but with our affiliation with the WAC, I mean, we treated it like a conference game. I mean, I know it doesn't count on your conference record and all that, but for us, in our perspective, the affiliation we have with the mesh, with the WAC, as far as the FCS committee is concerned, our approach as a program was almost as if it was a conference game. So big win for us, especially on the road, coming off a tough loss on the road at Eastern Kentucky. When you have a road and road 2 weeks, to come back on the back end of that and get a win after a loss is a big deal. So I thought it gave us some momentum going into this last week. We had a dominating performance. I thought it was our best defensive output of the year. We played winning football for the most part all year on defense. Very consistent. I was doing the tally numbers. I mean, you look at the numbers and you're always looking to get an edge and gain an edge. Well, we've given up 7 non-defensive touchdowns this year, and so when you put that into perspective, our defense has been playing really good football. And then on top of that, a team that's been averaging about 450 yards of offense, you hold them to 250 yards of offense. A quarterback that was on pace for 10,000 yards in his career, one of the best combos in the country, and Xavier Gibson and Trey Self. He was, on average, would have probably got that 120-yard mark that he needed to get to 10,000 in the middle of the second quarter. He had 45 yards in the whole game, which is amazing. Xavier Gibson needed right at, I think, 60 or 70 yards to get to 1,000 on the year. He had 3 catches for 12 yards. And that was a game plan deal. Coach Kitchens and the defensive staff put together a plan where, basically we were bracket coveraging the Xavier Gibson receiver, and we took him away, and our front 7 won the line of scrimmage, and that was bottom line what it was about. And 115 yards of the 250 yards that they got was in the fourth quarter when we were up 34-0. So that put it into perspective for 3 quarters. I mean, you're holding one of the best offenses, the best offense in the WAC. Basically to 150 yards of offense. That's pretty impressive. So kudos to our defense. A lot of individual great efforts. I think David Walker, our defensive end, leads the country in sacks right now. He broke the school record with 3.5 sacks in the game. Logan Jessup on the other end had another sack, so you had 4.5 sacks between those defensive ends. I think we had 7 total sacks on the night. And then I thought, the numbers didn't say it, but I thought Cameron Godfrey played his best game of his career at UCA, our all-conference safety, wears number 4 on defense. He was one of those guys mirroring number 2, their receiver, the whole night. Just couldn't be more pleased with him. Obviously, with him running down the field with Gibson the whole night, he wasn't there for a lot of tackles, right? He's just running ragged, right? Back and forth, but he did an amazing job and just showed his versatility, not only as a tackling safety, but also a covering safety. That was impressive. And then offensively, we had a great output. I thought our running backs ran hard. Kylan James had a huge night, had, I believe, over 200 yards of total offense. 2 touchdowns. Will McIlvain threw for 2 more touchdowns. Clifton McDowell came in and gave us another spark with his package as a quarterback. He threw for a touchdown, ran for some yards. So I was pleased, overall with the approach of our offense and defense. And then we added a special teams touchdown with Gerard Barnes' punt return touchdown. That was his 2nd of the year. And so to go beat a team like SFA, preseason top 10 team, really well coached with Coach Carthel. Obviously a big win and definitely a feather in our cap late in the season. As we were coming off the field, I knew, just going into the game, there were some implications going on in Jacksonville State of all places with the Eastern Kentucky and Jacksonville State game. With Eastern Kentucky losing pretty handily to Jacksonville State, that gave us basically gave us at the very least a co-conference championship, and that's a big deal. And what that tells our players, and it's like I told them. After the game, talked to them last night in our team meeting. Bottom line is your first goal when you come into a season is to bring home an ASUN title to the University of Central Arkansas. That's what you guys have done. Bring yourself a ring, right? That's what we've done. Now we want to have it by ourselves, and that's our goal this week in the Jacksonville State game is to stay on top, but be on top alone and by ourselves. So a lot to play for this week. The Jacksonville State team is coached by Coach Rich Rodriguez. He's been all over the world, as far as coaching-wise, one of the great coaches of this era. Had stops had really made his name at West Virginia with Pat White, Slayton, that whole crew back in the early 2000s. Been the head coach at Michigan, been the head coach at Arizona. Now he is at Jacksonville State, now catering them to the FBS level. And just a very, very well-known really good offensive coach. He's done a great job there. They're 8-2 on the year, which they've basically they've passed every test that they've played, but Tulsa and Southeastern Louisiana. Those are their 2 losses, very very solid team. And so we're lucky, we're happy, we get them on the stripes, get to finish the season at home. That's obviously a plus for us, and something we're looking forward to. But also an opportunity to be playing for something on your home turf the last week of the season. That's a pretty big deal. We're excited about it. Again, a lot at stake, at this point in the year, and something that our guys worked hard for. I talked about it to my guys. You have ups and downs. You have good days, bad days, all that stuff throughout a year. But at the end of the day, if you're standing there as a champion, you're standing there with playing for something even more than a championship on the last week of the season. It's a pretty darn good season. And so as young as we are, like I said, and as inexperienced as we started the year out, obviously the experience is here now, right? You played 10 weeks. It doesn't matter whether you're a freshman. You're not a freshman anymore. It doesn't matter whether you're a new guy. You're not a new guy anymore. Everybody's got experience at this point. But we've got a lot of those guys back moving forward for the years to come. So we're excited about it. And, we're obviously pumped about the opportunity. And our guys are going to put in a good week of practice and look forward to welcome the Gamecocks into town. So, again, senior night, hopefully we get a good crowd and opportunity. I know it's going to be a little chilly. I don't know if you guys, anybody made the trip. I know Paul and Mary did, but that some of y'all did. It's pretty dang cold in Texas last week. I told Coach Carthel before the game, I said, I thought we were playing in Texas. I'm sitting there talking to him, looking at my breath. It's like, so hopefully that got us prepped and ready, and hopefully in Jacksonville, Alabama, it's good and toasty and warm this week. And when they come to Conway on Saturday, they get welcomed with about a 45-degree temperature, and by the end of the game, hopefully below or around freezing. So that's what I'm looking forward to. With that being said, I'd love to answer any questions if there is any.
A quick recap on your 6 seniors.
Yeah. So I'll start out on the defensive line. 2 interior guys. Caden Brown from Dardanelle, Arkansas, number 97. Bottom line, one of the more consistent playmakers in the inside I've had the last couple of years. Very much an overachiever. We signed him out of Dardanelle High School, and could have played offense or defensive line, turned into a defensive lineman. Love him being there. Jalen Bedale, number 8, also defensive tackle, inside guy. I mean, he's just a playmaking kid too. Big kid, plugger. Both of those guys have been solid starters for us the last couple of years, and have played a lot over the last 3 or 4 years. But solid starters the last 2 years. They've done a great job for us. On the offensive line, Jalen Hendricks. He's been a 2 or 3 time all-conference guard. He's played all 4 positions other than center on the offensive line. He's a young man that could have a chance to play at the next level. I don't know if he'll end up being a draftable type kid, but I could see him getting into a camp. He's had a great year to this point. Missed the first 2 games of the year with a shoulder injury, but he has played 8 straight and been playing at a high caliber for us. Again, he's had a great career, probably 35-plus starts in his career. Hayden Ray, kicker. I don't know if you saw a lot of social media stuff, but he's going to go down as the best kicker, at least statistically, to ever play here. I believe he's tied the record. He's 1 field goal away from the record. He has 43 right now, so he's trying, he's right at the extra point record. I said, I sure hope you get that extra point record before that field goal record. That's what I told him. So at least that's the plan. And then we've got Cameron Godfrey, safety, who I mentioned earlier, has had a great career. He's been a 2-time all-conference guy. He's been an all-conference guy in the Southern Conference, been an all-conference guy in the ASUN. Again, a young man that has played really, really, really good football for a long time for us. He's a special kid, kind of the quarterback of our defense, gets us into different things, and again, has played the position of boundary safety and field safety. So our boundary safety is more of a tackling safety. That's what Tamarian Wilson's playing right now. That's why he's our leading tackler. But we've shifted Cameron because of his ability to cover to field safety this year, and so he's been in coverage a lot more. He's still our 4th or 5th leading tackler, but he's just a good football player. And then let's see here. I think I've mentioned 5. The 6th guy off the top of my head, Justin Kyers. He's going to walk, but he's coming back. He's technically a senior, but a lot of these guys, some of these guys, the guys that are, 2 of the guys that are walking are COVID guys that could come back for their COVID year. that's still a thing as far as a guy, if they were here in your program during that time, they can get that extra year back. But it's a good group. It's a small group. And some of them guys, Caden Brown, Jalen Hendricks, Cameron Godfrey, they're going to go down as champions in 2 conferences. They've been a champion in the Southland Conference in 2019, and they're going to be a champion in 2021 in the ASUN Conference. Not many people can say that. That's a pretty cool deal, And so to be a part of that's obviously something that we're honored to hand them, and then they've worked hard for. So, anything else? Thank y'all.
So, that's not live, right? All right. Got 2 players of the week in the ASUN in football, Kylan James for offense and Jared Barnes for special teams. Gerard, excuse me. So if you're coming to basketball tonight, we are going to have the email will go out this afternoon, but we are going to have a hospitality at halftime up on the stage if you come to basketball for you Purple Circle members. So feel free to come to the stage and visit around and share some stories with people during halftime. All right. Anybody got anything else? Natalie?
So tomorrow night is the women's game. It's our last food drive, sack food drive for the fall. And we put it out as hygiene/baby products. We will accept that, obviously. But the food pantry has also let everybody know that they're really running short on everything. So anything and everything that you want to bring, that would be great. Canned goods, anything. Okay. Anything.
Go ahead, Dr. Bradley.
If you could start printing the rosters in the games, it really helps as to who's playing. It would have really helped with the Hendricks game if we would have seen on both teams where the people came from.
We're not doing them in basketball.
Start that again, I appreciate it.
Do we do those usually in basketball? Or are they? Yeah, it's a QR code, but I don't know that we had a QR code out front on the game Friday. So when you go through the front doors, there should be a QR code on the table that you can scan with your phone that should have both teams' rosters on it. But I'm not sure if we had a QR code at the game on Friday. We did not, so that's on us. But we'll do better. I understand. I can understand. I'm a little old school with that too myself. So, anybody else got anything for the good of the group? All right. Well, I hope everybody. Volleyball is at 7 p.m. Thursday night. Volleyball's at 7 p.m. Thursday night. Hope to see everybody at the Fair Center the next 2 nights, 7 o'clock. Go Bears. Go Sugar Bears. Bear claws up.